Hello, Level 1 Geography students. This is a video helping you to understand what is in the global pattern assessment. First thing is we're looking at an aging and a youthful population. This cartoon that you see in front of you kind of gives you some of the background ideas about maybe some of the other themes that could be involved in this topic. So I'm going to take you through some of the exemplars. First of all, here's a high merit. What they've done well here is they've gone through and they've got a map. This explains the world's pattern. This is not our pattern, this is the pattern of deserts. From the map, they've identified where the deserts are, and they've also shown here, they've named some locations, and they've said there is a linear pattern. They've said a cluster of deserts in Asia. This is what you must do, a peripheral pattern, which is also a line. You must name places, and you must also state the geographic spatial pattern, clustered, linear, dispersed. You have to use those terms when you're describing a pattern. The next thing is you have to say the factors and processes. So here's the high merit. You can see the linear pattern of deserts is largely because of. So this way here, they've said the linear pattern of deserts. They'll refer to why that pattern, and then they started to explain it. How did some of the people get an excellence? Well, let's go over to an excellence. And in this excellence here, you can see when they're talking about the pattern, they've gone into really good detail about what the weather is like. The linear pattern follows the Tropic of Capricorn and Cancer. They talk about the climate patterns. They've talked about what makes air pressure, and they've shown a map or a diagram. Things you should be thinking about. Making sure you name examples in your factors and processes, and you give amounts. Coastal fog, which is common in the Atacama and Namib deserts. You must name places, you must name places in every single section. The last section about significance, here we go. You can say here the deserts are mostly unsuitable for people. So you talk about how deserts have an impact on people's lives in this. We're going to talk about youthful and aging populations, how that impacts on people's lives. Again, you can see there's numbers in here. They've used specifics. Sahara Desert, they've used specific examples and places. They've talked about people wanting to raise cereal crops, maize. They've talked, this one's in Africa, this one's in America, and this one's in Saudi Arabia. I've got percentages, measured amounts. All of these places here, you need to name specific places and amounts. This answer lacks geographic concepts. Please include geographic concepts. Also, this lacks words like short-term, long-term, social, and economic. By putting those geographic terminology in, you will do well. So, just to give you a recap, patterns, they've shown a pattern, they've shown a diagram, they've put it in there. This one here, they've shown examples, they've shown maps, they've given places in every answer. And in section 1, when we're looking at section 1, they've named it a linear pattern spreads through the Sahara. This is how you answer the 3 questions that are part of your global pattern assessment. Read over those exemplars, look at what you can see, and that is how you will have to answer them.